tell you right now, the drainage we're in, it's a hellhole. Don't ever come here. There's elk, but it sucks. Been a 2 hour and 10-minute misery fest for this guy. Not sure I want to elk hunt anymore.
Nice little rag.
Nice work.
Not a giant bull, but it's mine.
Well, it is the 19th of September. We're headed back out into the mountains. Had a week of family visiting, cutting up elk, that game on the go. We're finally heading back into the mountains. It's a rainy day. Wind's really picked up. It's been smoky for the last week, but our hopes are high, and we're going to see what we can get into. We brought an ATV this time to help us out, get in there faster, and make us a little more mobile.
Well, we're back in the woods. Lindy took the ATV on up the trail with all her gear, and hiking up this first steep pitch. It's about 3/4 of a mile. Not that bad. I'm just trying to lower my heart rate. If you're gonna go on an elk hunt, get in shape. Don't just get in shape. Lose as much weight as you can. My muscles haven't really been sore, but my lungs suffer for sure. So the weight is an issue. The more weight you take off your body, the more you can pack around in your pack. I'm gonna turn the camera off and go a few hundred more yards and try to lower my heart rate again, basically. So made it to the top of the hill. I'm on the ATV trail, so first 3/4 of a mile down, definitely cooler than I expected to be up here. I'm gonna get re-geared up and keep moving. Well, it's about 10 after 7 and we're up here glassing. It's really windy. There's some showers rolling through, just kind of nasty. Don't see anything out in the open, gonna keep glassing. It's getting dark so quick, we barely can see the glass. I mean, everything we're glassing's a mile plus. Probably just gonna settle in, cook some warm chow, talk to my wife as soon as she lands. She's flying home today, so a few more days on the mountain, no more than 4 or 5, and I'm gonna hit the road, win, lose, or draw. To me, it's already a winning hunt. We called that bull in that I didn't get on film, that Lindy took. Well, we're back at camp, tucked in all nice and warm in our tents. It's gonna be a windy, cold one. Got my base layers on, got my heavy top on, long johns, new socks. Can't say enough about my tent. It's a Big Agnes. I want to give them a big shout out. I bought this tent. I didn't buy this tent. I bought a Seat House SL2 for my wife in 2006. And this summer I told them the seam taping was coming off. I was wondering if they had a service to replace it or repair it and what that might cost. They told me to send them a photo. I did that. They told me to send it in. I did that. They did a test on it, said it failed. They sent me a brand new 2020 tent. Can't say enough about the company. I mean, on a 14-year-old tent, they gave me a brand new one. Outstanding customer service. Unbelievable. Unrivaled. Got some great features. There's so many storage places. Under the edge of my tent here, there's a little zipper. Got my boots out there. Got my pants hanging out of a vestibule there. Not a vestibule, a hanging gear loft. I forgot my actual additional gear loft this trip, but there's another pocket right above my head. I got my socks drying out there. There's 2 gear pockets on the sides. In that shape, I got my pack and my Crocs out here. I mean, this thing is just loaded with features. Now we're back in here. We're pretty close to where Lindy shot his elk. And doing some calling. Slowly walking through, calling. Seeing what we get into. It's really windy today. It's supposed to stay windy at least all day, maybe longer. So, could be tough. We're gonna drop all the way down to the bottom again, which we really don't want to do that, but That's where the elk are. That's where the elk are. Talked to some other guys in the area. So they got lucky. Got a 5-point yesterday morning. They have a pretty good sized camp up here. Couple dome Cabela outfitter tents and a little shanty, little carport, I think for their cooked shack or something. But we're gonna keep ambling through the timber here, see what we can get into. Well, it's about 9:45. I haven't heard a single elk yet. Keep smelling them on and off. Set up a couple times and called. The wind is just swirling. It's really putting us in a hard spot here. Not really sure what to do next. We're gonna try to figure it out. Eat a little bit and figure out our next move. Well, it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And we're just found a spot to sit down here in a little meadow, hoping something will start talking. Haven't heard an elk today. They're not talking. The wind's crazy, switching directions every few minutes. So we're just gonna sit here and hope that something makes some sound in the next little bit. Well, it is Monday. I don't remember what the date is. Turn of events due to the weather conditions and non-stop shifting winds. The fact that I'd like to go home to my family. Lindy has a lot of stuff he needs to do, and his family's under the weather right now. We were going to pull a plug this morning, but he talked me into one more go at it. So we're going to see what happens this morning. We found his lost hoochie mama. Hopefully we'll find my lost quiver today, but we'll see. So we're going to head down deep in, possibly. That's our goal anyway. See if we can find something talking. If not, we're going to end it there, I think. As we worked our way down the slope, we caught a glimpse of a bull in the bottom of the drainage and heard him bugle. It was suddenly a race to close the distance.
So we ran down the ridge, pretty much, not the ridge, the hill, and he's across the bottom in the timber. He's responsive, but he's in the timber on the other side. Well, like always, it didn't work out. We got in close to this bull, probably a couple hundred yards, and our wind switched, went right down at him. I'm set up 60 yards from a trail on the bottom, well within range, and felt the wind in the back of our necks, gave a bugle. When that bull answered, he was several hundred yards away. And he should have been within 2 easily. But we barely heard him, and we haven't heard him since. So we just dropped 1,000 feet to get down here. Maybe we'll get into him again. We're hoping. But he pretty much just made our day, so it was exciting, that's for sure. Thought we were going to get the opportunity. The wind was questionable the whole time. Now it's dead calm in here, but I think the wind's still going down. I don't know why. It's supposed to be 70 degrees, 60 degrees up here today, and it's 11 o'clock. It's tropical. Yeah, it's tropical. At least we're not going to freeze to death today. Right? No freezing to death today. Pretty nice. Took the long johns off for the first time on the trip.
About an hour later, we ran into the bull again on the opposing slope.
Well, it's 1:30 in the afternoon here. We've been on this bull a couple times, set up, and we tried to call him in, and both times the wind swirled, and he made out away from us. This last time he had to be within 150 yards, but it was so thick I couldn't shoot more than 20 and see more than maybe 30 or 40. We've gained the ridge on the opposite side of the hill here. Sounds like he's gone up here. Now that we're on top, the wind's blowing back down towards him. The wind just will not give us a break today. But we're going to give him at least one more try. Well, we went and chased that bull again, and kind of the same result. We set up. He came to within 100 yards. We think through the brush. Bugled really pretty close. Wind switched, and we haven't heard from him since. So he's really stopped talking. We weren't sure if he went up or down because we heard sounds both directions. Could have been more than one elk in there. See if we can get another one to bite. We know they're in here. We just have to have one that wants to play and cooperate and the right wind. And right now it's the wind that's really killing us. But we can only do what we can do. It's currently 3:30. Plus we're low on water. Okay. just when you think you're the only one that's dumb enough to go into a deep, dark hole, you run into some other people. And that's what just happened. We were on our fourth setup of the day, calling for a half hour. Nothing answered, nothing answered. All of a sudden, there was something answering, and it wasn't that far away. So we kind of moved because the wind was kind of switching on us. And then he spotted 3 guys crawling up towards us. So they came in from the bottom. It's, I don't know how many miles to the road, but it's a few. It's definitely further than we went. So I'm assuming they have horses. Finally got some water. We're at the bottom of the drainage. And we are 1,500 vertical feet again from camp. We are hiking back to camp. I apologize. I'm holding my camera on my chest and I'm breathing pretty heavy because I'm climbing this mountain. 850 yards. An elk popped out. We just got back to camp. Got the jet boil going. We decided to chase that spike. We went over to a park halfway to it, basically. Set up and called. I think we busted an elk in the middle of the park. I didn't see it. Lindy just caught a glimpse of it. Nothing ever made a sound. And we're just getting ready to eat some supper here and contemplate life choices, I guess. Sounds like we have too much adult responsibility, I guess. We're gonna pack out in the morning, and I'm gonna pack up, head home the next day, and Lenny's got some elk to cut up for Game on the Go, and I gotta let go of my camera so I can get this hot water in my food. Well, it's the 22nd of September. We knew we couldn't do a full day hunting today, but we talked about doing maybe a little bit in the morning here. We went out and glassed. Didn't see an elk. It's pretty calm today. Didn't hear an elk. First couple of days in here, it was non-stop bugles, but there's a pretty big group, about a half mile down the trail here. 6-8 guys. And we feel that they've probably pressured them enough that they pushed them off these ridges. We did get into that one yesterday, and we all saw a spike in the evening. But I mean, nothing's talking. We can't hear anything from here, and it's pretty still out today. It's like it was the first week. But we're gonna pack up and head out. It was a great season for me. It was a lot of fun, a lot of hard work, blood, sweat, and tears. Of course, I lost my quiver. Wouldn't be a hunt without losing something. That's it for my 2020 elk season. So hopefully I can get back out and do it in a year or two. Here's a little look at our camp. Lindy's got his new Kuyu tent out. Double vestibule. Wonderfulness. Packing all our gear up. Here's my brand new 2020 model Big Agnes Seat House SL2. Can't say enough about Big Agnes sending me a brand new tent after 14 years. My old one didn't pass the waterproofness test, and they replaced it for free. Unreal. The thing's got a lot of extra features in it than the 2006 model, for sure. So, can't complain about that. That is for darn sure. I'm in Big Agnes for life now. Most of my stuff is anyway. Crazy. So, just to update you on current events, we're currently tearing down camp. we are telling each other stories while we're doing it, not in a quiet voice. And Lindy looks up at me and says, "There's an elk behind you. I'm not kidding. Get your bow." So I crawl like a couple feet to get my bow, turn around, start putting my release on. He's like 40 yards. And before I got my release completely on, they busted. Elk busted out of camp at 40 yards and went maybe 50, 60 yards and bugled. And we got it to respond, and we think it's way down the canyon, so we're still gonna pack up and get out of here. But you just never know when or where it might happen. It's just crazy. We weren't being quiet at all. We were talking very loudly. Yeah, he was wearing his sugar daddy shirt. And elk staring at him. Right, and we're probably talking louder than this. And yeah, staring right at him. Ugh. Fitting in to the hunt, good stuff. Although, hey, maybe I'll run into something on the way out. You never know. I'll carry my bow with me. But good stuff. So funny. We still gotta eat breakfast. Maybe we'll run into something up there. Better take my bow up there with me. Good Lord. Oh, we heard him people really close this time. So we're geared back up. Well, we went after that bull. When we got to his tracks at 30 yards from camp, he busted because he bugled real close by. So we knew he was still pretty close. We think we heard another one in the distance, but we pursued him another, 20 yards, 30 yards, and set up, started calling. Lindy grabbed a decoy and set up it from like 10 yards from camp. That bull came 15 yards broadside from me, maybe less. I didn't have a shot. No shot through the brush. I just stood up trying to get a better angle, get something open. And he pegged me, and I still didn't have a shot. If it wasn't for like 2 branches, I had the most beautiful shot possible. So he walked away, and Lindy kept calling him. Well, he walked back into my lane at 36 yards, but he was walking, and I took the shot. And as he walked and my arrow flew, it sailed left and hit him in the hind corner. So now I got a really poorly hit bull. It's just a really bad situation. So we're gonna eat breakfast and sulk for a while. Probably unpack our stuff so we can chase this thing. Lindy couldn't take it anymore, so he went and sat. He went down to where the bull was at when I shot him. It'd been an hour, and he sat down. He's a very quiet woodsman. Like if I rattle a zipper, he gives me this look. If I touch a granola bar wrapper, he wants to murder me. So he's a very quiet person in the woods. But he sat down in that spot and just started glassing, and he saw an elk bedded. He couldn't see his head. Couldn't see if his head was up or down. So he thought it was only 30 or 40 yards from where that shot was. So hopefully he's dead. And if not, I guess he at least didn't go far, and we might be able to get a second shot in him at the very least. So we're gonna give him a little more time. So this is where I was sitting where I shot. This bull is 15 yards on the other side of these trees right here. And I had this tree, that tree, and this tree in my way. I stood up and it was still in my way because I think it's actually over here. So I took a step left, and I probably could have had a 15-yard shot on him. I didn't. I stood up to try to get a better shot, and it wasn't. He busted left when I stood up, and Lindy kept calling, and I knew that white stump down there was 30 yards, and the tree behind it was 36, according to my rangefinder. He walked between those two, and I took a shot, and I aimed about 35 yards with my pins. Like I said, I think the shot's backwards a bit, or back a bit, but this was the shot that I had, and he was walking right to left. So now we're gonna walk down to Lindy's, to my arrow, right?
The arrow was in the quiver, but
Oh, you got the arrow.
the arrow was halfway down the trail.
Okay.
So I'll show you where he was hit, and I sat down and glassed. From ground level, you could see a lot better. I was able to see him just his color. And at first I thought it was a log, and then I looked again. I'm like, that log has hair, and then I was like, wait a minute, that's just the log. And then I was like, wait a minute, that's definitely an elk. And hasn't moved in an hour and a half, so.
Oh yeah, blood. Nice. Yep.
Both sides, I just saw that.
Both sides, that is pretty sweet. And there's blood everywhere. There's blood on this tree. Tree's covered. There's a big puddle right by Lindy. We're trying to film it and document the best we can, but we're in a hurry because Lindy's got 3 or 4 elk to cut up, including mine. Probably 4, including mine. And we're supposed to be out of here by now. Yeah, there's blood up 2.5 feet tall on this tree.
It's a solid 8 feet apart.
He was worked up.
So Eric's been recording for the last, 10-15 minutes as we get down to his bull, which is right there in the trees. I wish I knew how to zoom. But we'll just look at that smile.
We got a dead elk.
We're gonna sneak up. Go ahead.
Dude, we got a bull. As we were packing up camp and ready to head out to end my trip,
We were officially done.
this guy walked into camp as I was rolling up my ground cover for my tent. And we called him back. Lindy called him back. He is heavy for a 5. I guess he's kind of a 6. 5 by 6. With his bone. Really a 5'8", but he's heavy.
Yeah. Well, he's nice, tall bull.
Definitely hit him in the rear. Must have hit an artery.
Not the ideal shot, but took care of business.
Wow, I can't believe that going as fast as it did.
Well, it's the 22nd of September, bottom of the 9th, packing up camp. This is the Camp Bull. Oh man, elk hunting is just a series of ups and downs. We got him to bugle back at us from camp. Called him in, I couldn't get a shot. Called him back, got a longer shot, made a bad shot. Luckily hit something vital, some arteries. He only went 50 yards, piled up dead. He's been dead for a couple hours. We've been waiting for the whole time. I'm pretty sure he was dead, but better safe than sorry. Nice 5x5. Got a little bit of a kicker for a 6, but not much, but heavy. He's heavy for a 5-point. DIY Montana bull. Couldn't be happier about it. Big shout out to my brother-in-law, Lindy, game on the go. Big country, a lot of work. Man, I couldn't be happier. It's just, it all came together. It's definitely an emotional roller coaster, this trip, for sure. I thought about going home a couple different times. A lot of stuff going on at home. Lindy's got a lot of stuff going on at home. I'm still kind of packed up a little bit early to head out today. Talked me into staying another day yesterday morning, and today it panned out. Just can't be happier with the result. That's a nice 5-point DIY. This is my biggest archery bull by far. Probably my second biggest bull ever, so pretty happy about that. I guess now the work begins. Luckily, we're still only maybe 100 yards from camp, but it's a steep uphill. So I guess we better get to work and see what we can get out of here in good time. Hopefully, we can get out of here by 1, 2 o'clock. So, all right, good trip. Love Montana. It is Thursday, September 24th. I just passed through Alzada, Montana. I'm eastbound and down. What a great trip. Love Montana. It was a roller coaster of emotion in the last couple weeks. Incredible highs, incredible lows. Can't thank Lindy of Game on the Go enough, my brother-in-law, for all his hospitality, and my sister-in-law Kim. Guys always make me feel welcome. Can't wait to see my baby girl and my wife. I've got a long drive ahead of me. Another day and a half of driving, unfortunately. So, signing off. Can't wait to go back to Montana. It always treats me right.